So a bandog's basically a bulldog and a mastiff cross. So you're getting the tenacity of the bulldog and the size and a lot of other characteristics of the mastiff.
So a bandog, is it like it's always a bulldog crossed with a mastiff?
Originally, it was a Neo and a Pit.
Okay.
And then over the years, everybody's mixed this and that, and basically, it's there's even herder and Pressa bandogs, or herder and pitbull bandogs. You know, so maybe a Malinois or Dutch Shepherd and a Pressa, or so they started crossing the lines. Now the name bandog is more generalized,
right?
But yeah, it's basically a gladiator type breed,
right?
Bred to a pit bull. It's got to have pit bull in it, I think.
Okay, so it's got like a molosers in it, right? So, more of that.
Yeah.
But that in that sport, they're not really doing like IPO with those dogs, right? Or are they doing PSA, or what are they doing?
There's a few PSA dogs, and there's a few people out of Manson family bandogs. They got it in the hands of Ron Marshall, who's one of my mentors in training. From early on, that I met through the pit bull world, and he's got some titles on some of the bandogs. Wow. And there's been a few here and there, but they're more like catch dogs. They're all around purpose dogs, so personal protection. You can do sport with the right ones, and they catch hogs and things like that. But a lot of them are more hype than anything else. You know, they look good, and there's a market for them. So.
Do those dogs do really well, like compared to like Mals or Shepherds or anything like that?
The right ones, there's some good ones on the East Coast through Misfit and James Guillory, and those guys are they got some stuff. They crisscross a couple different breeds, and they got some great dogs that can compete with any of the Shepherds, and they're harder dogs. Their pain tolerance is better, their tenacity is better, their fight. I don't know if there's a thing called fight drive, but their fight. Their willingness to engage and stay committed is better, through pain and other obstacles.
Well, it's funny because a lot of times if you really do the research on the whole breeding of the dogs, the Shepherds weren't protection dogs early on. I think all the molosers were really bred as sentry dogs early on.
Right.
And they've lost sight of it. I mean, I think now it's not even looked at. A lot of people look at it and say, well, why would you use a dog like that for a protection dog when that's really what they started out as?
Right.
Shepherds were just Shepherds.
Yeah, with sport, I think it confuses the lines between a true protection dog and a fun dog to go compete with in various sports.
Yeah.
And obviously the Malinois and Shepherds, they're extremely intelligent, and they do the work. They got good balance of drives generally. But we've seen both sides of every side of the coin, and it's just I think the sport kind of skewed the lines for protection work,
Right.
But you can do both if you got the right dog and the right trainer and you got the right plan.
You're saying on the bandogs?
I'm saying any dog.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But what I found is being a trainer and being first introduced through pit bulls and bandogs and the bulldogs. Yeah. And now having Malinois and German Shepherds.
Yeah.
They're two totally different dogs to train in the bite work,
So talk about that. Like, what's the difference? Because that's a really interesting point. A lot of people have just trained Shepherds, and you're one of the unique people, and I think you're a fantastic decoy and handler, trainer as well. What's the difference in those dogs?
I think it derives from the reason why they're biting. I believe that the bulldogs and the some bulldogs, more like pit bulls, they really enjoy the fight part of it. Yeah. And if they're balanced, that's good. But usually, it's just a different animal as far as like the pressure you put on them, how you get them to counter, and how you get them to engage. And instead of being like a rabbit, you want to almost be like a foe. And a real they really tend to progress when you put more pressure on them before the bite, as opposed to, say, if you did that to a shepherd, you know, a young dog, you might get them started off the wrong way. You know, every dog's wired different. Genetics is going to tell you the picture of the dog and what it's about. But
so when you say that, like when you put the pressure on, I, from what I've seen, I mean, I do think pits and molosers do enjoy that. They're in that fight. I think the mals and the shepherds are really into the chase game.
Yeah, and more so like mals, I've noticed, is they love to bite something. Yeah, put something in their mouth. Yeah, and you know, being a police dog trainer, I don't go with aggression as much as I would with, say, a off-breed, a pit bull or something. I try to bring out more aggression, and I think that's where their wheelhouse is.
In the mals, or
no, with the pit bulls and the bandogs and those type of dogs, I tap into their aggression. Okay, and then I balance it out in the fight. So once the dog does get to the bite, I try to figure out what's going to make him bite me, and then I balance it out in the fight. Okay. So a shepherd, I might have to use more prey and try to get away. Right. And boom, once they get me, then we can engage. And, and another dog, a pit bull or a band dog, I might have to put some pressure on him, like we're about to really fight, and he commits through that. And having both of those experiences with the two different breeds, I can intertwine those things. And